your top five, the way you just defined it, your top five check all of those boxes, correct? You're not calling them the top five action heroes necessarily, but your top five check those boxes most thoroughly, each of them, right? Have the most range.
They're all going to have very high scores in each of those categories. That is correct.
All right, so let's start with number five. Do you have any outside looking in, or we're just going to go straight to the top five, number five?
You know what we did is we modified this a bit. Rather than just doing a top five, which everybody has done, here's what we're going to do. We're going to change it a little bit. This is if you needed to be avenged. Give me the top five action heroes you would call if you needed to be avenged. Let's say you got killed and you're a ghost. And you call and you're like, hey, I need you to go avenge me. Who are the five that you're going to call? That's what we're doing here, okay? Right. On the outside looking in, I'll give you two on the outside looking in. John McCall in the Equalizer. His friend gets killed by the mob. He goes nuts. It's at the end of the movie. It's him versus the mob in a hardware store. It friggin' rules. It's incredible. He's on the outside looking in. One more on the outside looking in. Very underrated movie. Very underrated character. John Kelly in the movie Without Remorse is Michael B. Jordan. In that movie, his pregnant wife gets murdered by Russian operatives. Now he's off and on the loose. Those guys were right on the outside. Here's my number five pick.
Oh, hold on a second, though. Hold on, if I may. Ooh. Just Stugotz, does your top five have any OLIs, or are we just going to go?
No, I have two as well. So my first one.
So
yes. Outside looking in.
So not no, just to be clear. So not no, yes.
It was a no. I have two as well.
Yeah, no, yes.
So not no,
it's a weird verbal ticket I have.
Yeah, no, yes.
Yeah. So I have two as well. Okay, Shea. No, right, but I have two. Okay.
No, but yes.
No, yes, I have two. Okay. John McClane, outside looking in. And Indiana Jones, outside looking in.
Excellent.
And I can't believe he didn't make my top five.
Two classics.
Yeah.
No reasons. They're just in.
I've been told, though, that the line.
Outside looking in. Yeah.
Does Indiana Jones really count? Because it's really an adventure movie and it's an action movie, right?
Roy.
No, that's an action movie. That is an action movie.
Thank you.
But he absolutely is not who you would call if you needed to be avenged.
Right.
Well, you wouldn't call him, but I would. So, I mean, it's my list.
He spends the whole first movie getting all of his shit taken every single time he has a thing. Like, that's all he does in the first movie.
Yeah,
it's
but
crazy.
the guy brought a sword.
One of my favorites.
A guy brought a sword to a fight. He pulled out a gun and he shot him. I mean, he's
I
smart.
laughed so hard
really,
at that.
Really slick.
That's
really
correct,
great move.
but it's not if you need to be avenged. It's if you need an archaeological artifact of some sort. That would be a good person.
It's my list, Dana.
It is your
It
list.
belongs in a museum.
Yeah, Roy, that should have been said from the penalty box because I'm delayed in sending you out of here. Please leave
No,
the
there's no
room.
mic in there.
Yeah, that's why I'm sending you there because I don't want you near a microphone because the last time you had it, you used it poorly. So don't come back to it, you asshole! Get out of here! You are the worst at this. 5-minute major, and if I never see you again right now, I am so enraged that it would be okay.
But he's got a top 10 to do.
No, unfortunately. We'll get to that later. He's the worst at leaving and the worst in general.
Yeah. He had 2 plates of bacon this morning. Now.
He put it in his pockets. Loves the free breakfast. Comes here and eats.
You're not kidding. He was literally putting it in his pocket.
I know. It's embarrassing. I'm aware that whenever there's free meat anywhere, Roy steals it and sticks it in his sweatshirt.
Free.
Number 5, Shea.
All right. If I need to be avenged, the first or fifth phone call that I'm going to make. We just talked about him. It's his whole movie. He jump-started a new era in action movies. Give me Brian Mills from Taken, 2008. Liam Neeson's character.
That's a good one.
A good answer.
Ex-Green Beret, ex-CIA member. His daughter kidnapped by Albanian sex traffickers. He burns down all of Paris to get her back. He avenges her. Kills a sheik at the end. That's my fifth pick if I need to be avenged.
Stugotz, what's your number 5?
All right, I call the first 4. They're all busy. Then I get to number 5, and I call Dalton from Roadhouse. Dalton
Hell yeah.
Roadhouse. What you got, Shea?
Dalton from Roadhouse is in the Action Hero Scouting Report. I love Dalton. I love him. Yeah. He's the action hero who turned philosophy, who turned consideration, contemplation into action. Great movie character. I love him. I
And
love
he-
this pick for you
And
too.
he killed a lot of people. Yeah.
Do you have that in your 27? You said he did make your 27, or was he among the 100 for you, Shea?
No, he was in there. He was a no questions asked. Bring him to the front of the line. You gotta have Dalton. The name is Dalton. I love him.
That's so great.
Number 4, Shea.
Number 4. This is an outsider pick. I'm sure not a lot of people are going to have him on here. An underrated movie, 2021, directed by Guy Ritchie. Give me Mason Hargraves from Wrath of Man.
Make the argument for it.
Played by Jason Statham. He's a terrifying leader of a hijacking crew. His son gets killed by another hijacking crew, unbeknownst to them, that he's this like terrifying guy. He joins an armored car company and figures out who did it and just kills everybody. Really, really fun movie. The score does a lot of lifting in that movie. It just feels tense the whole time because of what you're listening to. I really, it's an underappreciated role. I like it a bunch.
So basically just the transporter in an armored car and every Statham movie.
Yes.
Okay.
Every Statham
Okay,
movie.
very good.
Statham makes an appearance in the Action Hero Scouting Report, but it's not this character. It's a
Okay.
different character.
All right.
Number 4, Stugotz.
Snake Plissken, Escape from New York.
You're on fire.
Yes.
You're on fire.
Yes!
You're on fire right now. You're picking every great
You're
character.
excited,
This is
man.
wonderful.
All right, Shea, make the argument on behalf of Stugotz. Did he make your scouting report?
He did not make it.
Huh.
He is not in there. He's mentioned. We talk about him briefly. He doesn't get a full scouting report, but he is one of the greats. If there's an expansion pack, he'll probably be in there. But he is a former military, former special agent who gets convicted of a crime. They send him to basically what's Prison City to rescue a person. Like, that's a great pick. He's also the most clutch basketball player we've ever seen in a movie. In part 2, when he has to do the thing on the basketball court.
You see
where
The
he has
Last
to make a
Dance,
bucket
or I
on each
mean,
side.
Shea,
He's more clutch than Jordan.
put it on the poll, please, Juju. Was Snake Plissken?
Plissken.
Sorry, easy for me to say. Number 3, Shea.
Number 3, I need to be avenged. My third place person I'm going to call, John Creasy, Man on Fire. Played by Denzel Washington, the greatest actor of our lives, in a movie where he is cutting off fingers and putting bombs in a butt. Former CIA Special Activities Division officer. He takes a job after his life has fallen apart and he's become just an alcoholic washout. Takes a job in Mexico City bodyguarding PETA, played by Dakota Fanning. She gets kidnapped and then murdered, and then he just goes nuts. By the end of the movie, after he has killed everybody, you're really like, man, that guy was really on fire. And then it turns out PETA wasn't even murdered, which is even better. Like, he avenged her and he saved her.
Do you think that Denzel Washington, if you had to guess, enjoys doing Macbeth more or enjoys doing these equalizer roles and these silly roles where he gets to be the Training Day guy?
Listen, he didn't do Macbeth Part 2, but he did the Equalizer 2. And he's doing Equalizer 3.
Great answer.
He likes those better.
Yep.
The last fight was in a hurricane.
A hurricane,
It's
man.
incredible.
In a hurricane.
He was fighting a mob guy and a hurricane at the same time.
Number 3, Stugotz.
You call John Creasy, I call John Rambo. How about that?
That's great. That's great. John Rambo was the one who, when I rewatched all of the movies for the Action Hero Scouting Report, his was the movie I was like, man, I like this as an adult. I like it 50 times more than I liked it as a kid. It's just incredible movie making. Just a Vietnam veteran who they do this really great thing in the movie where normally at the end of the action movie, you have the big giant set piece with the biggest fight and whatever. And in this one, it's not that. It's him versus Sheriff Teasel. He gets him down and then he has a mental breakdown. And he finally just admits all of the stuff that's been rattling around in his head about his experience in the war. Incredible movie. Great picks too.
How many movies and hours did you spend rewatching all this stuff because you had to as research?
It's probably like 150 hours of movie watching. But again, you do it over the course of a couple of months. It's like, it's a fun thing to do. You just sit at your TV for 6 hours a day watching TV. It's not that hard.
Who'd you leave off that you now regret leaving off? Is there a guy?
I had the Snake Plissken entry loaded up, and then we took that one out of there.
Big mistake.
Yeah, it was, but it doesn't feel like a mistake. When you read the report, it's gonna feel full and vetted. You're gonna love it.
I'm getting to it.
Are there any women on your list?
Yeah, of course. On the list that we have right now,
Yes.
yeah, my first place pick.
What?
It's only one.
Wow.
All right.
It's only one.
Spoiler alert. Hold
The
on a
number
second.
one Avenger ever.
Hold on a second. Number 2, Shea.
Oh, number 2, you got to have him. Is the greatest maybe action hero actor of our modern era. It's between him and Tom Cruise. Give me John Wick. If I need to be avenged,
Great.
give me John Wick. He gets his dog murdered. This is 2014. This comes out. Keanu plays an ex-assassin who's out of the game, falls in love. His wife gets sick. She passes away. As a way to help him grieve from the grave, she sends him a puppy. The puppy gets murdered. His car gets stolen. And Keanu just goes on a rampage against the mob. It is now stretched over 4 movies. An incredible, incredible franchise. That's his whole thing, is avenging. I'm going to be all right if he's avenging me.
Stugotz, number 2 for you.
All right, my guy can not only avenge, but he looks like a guy who might be your money manager, and that is Ray Tango.
Oh,
yeah, Ray Tango.
Ray Tango.
Yes, you're excited,
Ray
Jay.
Tango.
He dances in and he waltzes away with my drugs.
I'm so excited. I love Tango and Cash. I think Ray Tango is maybe the most action movie, 80s action movie thing that Sylvester Stallone did. Just what a pick. I love you. You're my favorite
Thank
person on
you.
the show right now.
Wait till we get to number 1.
Number 1, Shea Serrano. Who you got? Number 1, again, a reminder. He's got a new ebook out today called Action Hero Scouting Report. Number 1.
Mm-hmm. Number 1, if I need to be avenged, this person avenged better than anybody has ever avenged in the history of movies. She was murdered. This is an ex-assassin. Found out she was pregnant, decides to leave her assassin group. They hunt her down. They beat her up. They kill her. They kill a newborn baby inside of her belly. They kill all of her new friends. They kill a bunch of innocent bystanders. Turns out she's not dead, though. The bullet they put into her head did not kill her. Comes out of a coma 4 years later, hunts them down one by one, ending it by exploding a guy's heart inside of his chest. Give me the bride from Kill Bill.
Stugotz, your number 1?
All right, this action hero was so good, he could do the avenging with a matchstick, and it was never lit. Marion Cobretti. How about that, Cobra?
It's so bad.
Matchstick.
It's so bad.
I'm thoroughly surprised that nobody mentioned John Matrix from Commando. I'm thoroughly surprised.
That's a good one. John Matrix is a really fun one. He's trying to save his daughter in that movie. He does save her. I like my action heroes to be a little more beat up, though. In Commando, he never gets beat up. That's when they were doing the movie where nothing harmed him. He literally jumps out of an airplane while it's 500 feet in the air, lands on the ground in the marsh, and just runs away like nothing happened. It's incredible. I like him to get roughed up some.